With the return of Max Caulfield in Life is Strange Double Exposure, now's the perfect time for us to go back to her first appearance and see why the first Life is Strange game is the best in the series. And don't you worry, sweet child of mine, because we're looking at the original release, not the disastrous remasters. Disastrous remasters? Bars! What better way to start than with the presentation here? Life is Strange has a very unique oil painting type of art style which has aged phenomenally well. One of the biggest reasons why the remasters are dookie water is because they just didn't know how to remaster this art style properly and ended up blowing their own dick off. This art style gives this game an indistinguishable identity which was somewhat lost later on in the series. Now one thing the later games definitely do better is the lip syncing, because it is straight up dog shit here at points. Hell, sometimes it's straight up non-existent, like the personality of people who put pronouns in their bios.
Can't let that happen. I have to do something, Warren.
I can't let that happen. I gotta do something, Warren. I'm like, how are you doing that through no mouth movement? Let me try. I have to do something, Warren.
This is more disappointing because the voice acting is straight up S tier and the best in the entire series. Everyone is genuinely perfect in their roles, especially Hannah Tell and Ashley Birch as Max and Chloe.
Yes, of course it's cool. Thank you. This camera is so sweet.
Now that we got that mushy shit out of the way, I feel like stage diving. Let's thrash this place.
The actors have real range, and even with the poor lip syncing animations, their characters get across so much emotion. While we are on the audio side of things, I need to talk about the music because
it was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
Coming back to Life is Strange 1 reminded me about how unbelievably important the music is to this game's overall impact. When I booted up this game again after so long, I just sat staring at the main menu screen for like 5 minutes because the music had me like this. Whether it be tension-filled moments or the ones where you're just roaming around, this music always hits, bruh. It's so memorable. I don't remember jack shit about the music in Life is Strange 2 and True Colors, and although I do love the music in Before the Storm, Life is Strange 1's soundtrack is in a league of its own. And the song choice is also just spot on, and I still listen to some of them all of these years later. Spanish Sahara, Obstacles, To All of You, like god, man. And the thing is, the benefits go both ways like your mother on a night out. Individually, a lot of these songs aren't anything special. In fact, they're kinda shit sometimes. Like, listen to these lyrics, bruh. Something good. Oh, something good. Oh, something good. Oh, something good tonight will make me forget about you for now. Truly one of the lyrics of all time. But when this game uses these songs, they become special because the visuals and audio combined together are truly a vibe, bruh. And if you know me, it's all about the vibe. The only issue I have here is during some of the cutscenes later on, the game must have gotten high or some shit because the music was coming through my headphones, but the sound effects and dialogues were coming through my TV. Genuinely one of the weirdest bugs I've ever faced. By the way, if you're enjoying this video till now, please be sure to like it and subscribe to the channel. It helps me out a lot and I really appreciate it, my dudes. Now we come to the gameplay, which there's definitely more of here than in any other Life is Strange game. You play as Max Caulfield and the gameplay involves looking or inspecting things, interacting with things or people, and making choices which affect the story. You know how it goes with these kinds of games, man. But what is different is that Max has the ability to rewind time, and my god, it's so cool. The situations this game puts you in are such a great fit for using this power. I mean, of course you get to save lives a lot of times, yours and other people's, which is great and all, but the things I find the most interesting happen outside of that. For example, when you interact with someone, sometimes you'll unlock new information which you can then use in the same conversation by rewinding and interacting with the person again. It's basically a game of what would I say to change the outcome if I already knew how this conversation would go. You also use these powers in various interesting ways to create photo opportunities and do some puzzle solving. Even when they don't require you to use 100% of your brain, they're still fun because of how they make you use the rewind power. In other choice-based games, once you've picked an option, you're basically locked out of seeing what would have happened if you picked the other options, but here, there is no such limitation. Your choices aren't saved until you leave the area, so you can rewind and test out all the options you have until you find the one that jiggles your balls the best.
I just want somebody to jiggle my balls.
What's up, you fucking tomato cucumber eating mother?
My favorite thing to do with this rewind power, however, is to be an absolute menace to society.
Dude, I need a target before I shoot.
Put a real dent in that front bumper.
Jesus, I shot myself!
Oh my god, I'm so sorry, Chloe. Let me rewind.
Put a real dent in that front bumper.
This game succeeds in fulfilling the fantasy of what normal people would do with this kind of power. Now, does this power scientifically make any sense or ever explained properly in the game whatsoever? No. Do I care as long as it's fun? Also no. Now, there are a few problems I have with the gameplay. Max will sometimes still act like a complete moron even after knowing what's gonna happen. For example, here I try to get these files down and they end up getting ruined like the fatherless bitches on OnlyFans. So I rewind time to save them and try to get them down again, but then the exact same animation plays, she makes the exact same mistake again and the files end up getting ruined again.
Embarrassing.
Mind you, this is a very small example for the sake of being spoiler free, but moments like these just had me like...
Did I ever tell you what the definition of insanity is?
Also, sometimes it's really difficult to interact with what you want because there is a bit of clunkiness involved with the controls. Also, even though Life is Strange 1 is way more polished than its successors, it still isn't perfect. Guys, I just discovered that Max has another superpower. Look at this.
Yeah, boy.
And that finally brings us to the story. Life is Strange 1 centers around Max Caulfield, an 18-year-old photography student. Right off the bat, the game hooks you with its opening as Max wakes up in the middle of a storm and then wakes up again to find herself in class. As she leaves class and goes to the bathroom to gather herself, Max witnesses a true American school moment with the murder of her childhood friend, Chloe Price, and here she discovers that she has the ability to rewind time at any moment. After saving Chloe's life with their newfound powers, Max and Chloe rekindle their friendship and start investigating the mysterious disappearance of Chloe's friend, Rachel Amber. But everything is not as it seems, and there is a much darker plot brewing in Arcadia Bay, which you uncover gradually as the story goes on, while also learning that messing with time is a slippery slope and the choices you make along the way have severe consequences. The rest is up to you to find out, and I won't spoil anything major. Life is Strange 1 has one of my favorite stories ever told in any form of media, period. Now, is it perfect? Hell no. But damn it, is it sincere, heartfelt, and most importantly personal?
Yes! Hell yeah!
Balance is the name of the game here. A balance between what's right for you and what's right for people around you. A balance between the joy of two lost friends rediscovering their care for each other and the pain of dealing with what they've lost in their absence. A balance between grounded, warm, fuzzy feeling inducing moments and setting a supernatural, ominous undertone for the crazy stuff that surrounds you. Max does not know much about her abilities since they're new to her. There are times where her powers stop working and times where they work too well, which leads to some of the best moments in the entire story. This whole time manipulating thing mixed with detective work under a sense of impending doom is handled so well, but the beating heart of this game are the characters. God damn the characters, bro. Max starts off as a complete awkward, shy person and you see her growing confident as time goes on. And I also relate to her because I went through a similar thing in my life. Chloe might not be the best person ever. In fact, this bitch is straight up goo goo gaga levels of stupid when it comes to survival instincts. I get giving you stuff to do with your powers, but nah man, it's just ridiculous at points, especially in episode 2. But that doesn't stop me from loving her and Max's friendship.
My powers might not last, Chloe.
That's okay. We will. Forever.
You gradually understand more and more why people are the way they are because Life is Strange understands that people aren't perfect. They have their flaws, but the beauty of human nature is being able to love someone despite those flaws. It takes stereotypes like the bitchy mean girl and adds real depth and personality to it. It understands that people don't just change their personality just because you've been nice to them. It knows that every character needs to feel like their own separate person, and that is why everyone in this game is so distinct and memorable, even the characters you don't interact with much. I want to spend as much time as I can in this world with these characters and really want to know more about them, and this is why I interacted with everyone and everything during gameplay.
You know, I haven't gone through a dyeing my hair blue phase yet. Maybe it's time.
I will uninstall this game right now. Your choices carry weight and have consequences which can even show up multiple episodes later. Even with the power to manipulate time and space, there are still things that you cannot fix. You just can't save everybody, and sometimes saving one person means hurting another. But that's life, man, and we have to learn to be okay and live with that. A story that is this meaningful and touching is really difficult to find in media today. That's why I think this game is more resonant and more relevant relevant than ever before now. While other games in this series were busy being hilariously dumb, woke, or telling a story no one gives a shit about, Life is Strange 1 has stood the test of time by crafting a narrative which actually has something to say that connected with millions of people around the world, including me, on a deep and personal level to truly become timeless. That being said, it does have some real problems. One, there are some moments that don't land like the game intends, and the writing can be straight up ultra mega cringe at times, like who let them cook, bruh?
You are such an evil biatch. I love it.
Brother, ugh.
2. Even though Life is Strange 2 is the worst game in this series, I still gotta respect that game for the various different endings it has. Here there are only 2 different endings, which of course makes sense in conveying the themes I mentioned before, but from a gameplay perspective, I just know this is gonna bother some people. And 3. A lot of conflict in this story could have been straight up avoided completely if Max just told what was gonna happen to Chloe as well. God, dude, she already knows you have powers, just lay it on her, dude. The But coming back, this game's narrative had me gripped from the beginning to the end, and just when I thought that it wouldn't hit as hard as it used to, there is nothing else on my mind when I'm playing this game. It is that immersive. The visuals, audio, and everything else combined to give a sense of safety, comfort, calmness, and nostalgia mixed with just the right amount of uneasiness as time goes on. It is genuinely awe-inspiring. The choices I made during this playthrough showed me how much I've changed with time. Life is Strange 1 is an experience that stays with you. With this video, my aim has been to pour my heart out about this game because Life is Strange 1 is one of the most important pieces of media I've ever consumed. Back in the day, my first introduction to this game was through PewDiePie, and I've watched the entire series before I finally got around to playing it myself. Yes, there are minor as well as major problems here like I talked about in the video, but even with them, as imperfect as this game might be, it is still a masterpiece in my eyes. Even though I'm a built different big boy now with 16 times the testosterone, anytime I'm about to begin a replay of this game, I'm genuinely a bit worried. There's a weird bittersweet feeling in my heart because I know how much this game is gonna get me in my feels. Only real art does that. I wish I could erase my memory of this game and get to experience it for the first time all over again. Many games have tried to be like this and they have succeeded in some regards, but no other game has ever captured the magic of Life is Strange 1. Let's get real here, man. I don't have serious moments like this in my videos often, but from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much to everyone who stuck around till the end of this video. I know my channel is super small, but I am so fucking grateful that there are people out there who are willing to take time out of their day to hear me yap about something that means so much to me. So yeah, man, YouTube thinks that you'll like these videos as well, so be sure to check him out. And as always, see you next time.